Ya la 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 la, ya la 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 la, ya la 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 la. Ya la 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 la, ya da 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 da, ya da 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 da. Ya da da da, ya da 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 da. Ya da ya da. Ya da 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 da. Ya da 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 da. Ya da 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 da. Ya da 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 da. Ya da 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 da. Ya da 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 da. Ya da 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 da. Ya da ya da. Ya da 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 da. Ya da. Ya da 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 da. Ya da 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 da. Ya da 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 da. Ya da 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 da. Ya da 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 da. Ya da 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 da. Ya da 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 da. Ya da ya da. Ya da 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 da. Ya da.
Good evening, Shabbat Shalom, and welcome to our service, especially out in our virtual world. Next week, we have a very exciting Shabbat.
Yes, we're so excited. We are inviting, next week is our last week of Hebrew school for the year, and so we are inviting our Hebrew school students to come and share some of the things that they have learned over this past year, and they will be helping me to lead the service next week.
Then we take a little bit of a break from being live in here to a virtual service for the next 4 weeks. And then we're back for summer. So we look forward, especially for all of you that are watching from coast to coast, we're glad to have you with us tonight. We're going to begin with the lighting of the candles. Thank you. On page 2. May the Shabbat candles that we now light inspire us to see justly and gently, to look honestly and with kindness, and to see what is holy in each other.
Baruch atah Adonai Eloheinu melech ha'olam asher kitshanu b'mitzvotav v'tzivanu lehadlik ner Shel Shabbat.
Thank you. As we turn in our prayer books to page 4, at the bottom of the page, Hine ma tov, how good and pleasant it is for us to be here or with you there.
And it is so wonderful after a full maybe year and a half of not being able to be here,
Right.
that we are fortunate enough to be able to be gathered here together and to be virtual as well. So please take just a moment to introduce yourself or to say Shabbat Shalom to someone sitting nearby, or say hello in the comments. Tell us where you're watching from and say Shabbat Shalom. Hine ma tov u'manayim Shavet achim gam yachad. Hine ma tov u'manayim Shavet achim gam yachad. Hine ma tov Shavet achim gam yachad. Hine ma tov Shavet achim gam yachad. Hine ma tov u'manayim Shavet achim gam yachad. Hine ma tov u'manayim Shavet achim gam yachad. Hine ma tov u'manayim שבת אחים גם יחד, הנה מה טוב ומה נעים. שבת אחים גם יחד, הנה מה טוב, הנה מה טוב. יאללה יאללה לה 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 לה, הנה מה טוב, הנה מה טוב. יאללה יאללה לה 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 לה, הנה מה טוב ומה נעים. שבת אחים גם יחד, הנה מה טוב ומה נעים. שבת אחים גם יחד.
We'll turn to page 9 at the bottom of the page. Continue responsively as we talk about our Ner Tamid. We look upon the Ner Tamid, our eternal light, as a reminder that we're standing in God's eternal presence. Its soft light and love is carried on within our worship this Shabbat. We remember those who sat in the glow of this lamp in Austria 150 years ago. As we pray each Shabbat, we know that our people will never be forgotten. This Ner Tamid saved us from the ashes of the Holocaust, bears witness to the traditions of our Jewish faith. As we stand before God in perfect faith, with reverence and responsibility, committed to carry on the heritage of our people. The top of page 8, we welcome the angels of peace. Shalom Aleichem.
Shalom Aleichem, Malachei Hasharet, Malachei Elyon. Mi melech Malachei Hamlachim, HaKadosh Baruch Hu. Boachem l'shalom, Malachei Hashalom, Malachei Elyon. Mi Malachei Hamlachim, HaKadosh Baruch Hu. Baruchuni l'shalom, Malachei Hashalom, Malachei Elyon. Mi melech Malachei Hamlachim, HaKadosh Baruch Hu. Tzedchem l'shalom, Malachei Hashalom, Malachei Elyon. Mi melech Malachei Hamlachim, HaKadosh Baruch Hu.
Psalm 95, it's found on the bottom of page 10. Supposedly it was composed by David as a song according to legend that has references to the time the Israelites wandered through the wilderness. Beautiful tune, bottom of page 10 as we join together.
Lechu niranena, yai lai 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 lai, l'Adonai, yai lai 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 lai, Nariah, yai lai 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 lai, Litzor Yisheinu. Let us sing out to God, maker of all, sure and strong. Let all of creation from mountain to sea hear our song. Lechu niranena, yai lai 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 lai, l'Adonai, yai lai lai la la lai, Nariah, yai lai 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 lai, Litzor Yisheinu, yai lai lai la lai.
And again, that is one of the songs or psalms as well that speaks so much to us who are here in the mountains. It says, God, whose hands are the depths of the earth and the heights of the mountains. Beautiful song. And now we turn to the other mountain on page 12, Asa Einai, as we lift our eyes to the mountains.
shamayim va'aretz ezri ve'im Adonai Oseh shamayim va'aretz esaynai el harim me'ayin yavo ezri esaynai el harim me'ayin yavo ezri me'im Adonai Oseh shamayim va'aretz ezri me'im Adonai Oseh shamayim va'aretz.
As we travel back to the 16th century to the town of Svat, the center of Jewish mysticism, it was there that Shlomo Alkabetz wrote this beautiful poem, Lecha Dodi, welcoming the Sabbath bride, page 16.
Lecha lecha dodi likrat kala b'nei Shabbat nikabela Lecha lecha dodi likrat kala b'nei Shabbat nikabela Lecha dodi likrat kala b'nei Shabbat nikabela Lecha dodi likrat kala P'nei Shabbat nekabela Shamor v'zachor b'ribor echad Hishiyanu el hameyuchad Adonai echad u'shmo echad L'shem ol tiferet v'litchila Lecha dodi likrat kala P'nei Shabbat nekabela Lecha dodi likrat kala P'nei Shabbat nekabela Likrat Shabbat lechu v'nilcha Ki hi mekor haveracha Mirosh mikedem nesucha Sof ma'aseh b'machsheva tchila Lecha dodi likrat kala P'nei Shabbat nekabela Lecha dodi likrat kala P'nei Shabbat nekabela Mikdash melech ir melucha Kumitzvim yitoha avlecha Rav lach shevet be'emech halacha Vehu yachmol alaychem Lecha dodi likrat kala P'nei Shabbat nekabela Lecha dodi likrat kala P'nei Shabbat nekabela.
The bottom of page 18, we face the doors as we welcome the Sabbath bride.
Boi v'shalom at eretz bala Gam b'simcha u'b'tzala Toch emunah am segula Boi chala Lecha dodi likrat kala P'nei Shabbat nekabela Lecha dodi likrat kala P'nei Shabbat nekabela Lecha dodi likrat kala P'nei Shabbat nekabela Lecha dodi likrat kala P'nei Shabbat nekabela.
The top of page 21, Psalm 92, is the psalm that was first recited in the temple in Jerusalem on Shabbat. We'll continue responsively at the top of the page. It is good to give thanks to you, O Lord, to praise your name through song. Speak in the morning of your loving kindness, your faithfulness each night. Music of the lute and the harp, melody of the lyre. I'll sing with my delight. We continue the bottom of page 20.
Tzadikatamar yifrach ke'eres bavanon yizke shetulim beveit Adonai Hatzrot Eloheinu Yafrichu Od Yenun Beseva Deshenim Bera'ananim Yehiyu Lehagi Ki Yashar Adonai Tsuri Belav Latamo.
And on page 23, as we continue with the wonderful reading from written in 1921, just for today. You'd like to read it? Thank you. It's from Boston. Is that okay for someone from Georgia?
Well, I have a better accent.
Oh, okay, okay.
Come on. Just for today, I will live one day only, forgetting yesterday and tomorrow, and not trying to solve the whole problem of life at once.
Just for today, I'll be unafraid of life and death, unafraid to enjoy the beautiful and be happy, because people are as happy as they make up their minds to be.
Just for today, I will adjust myself to what is, and not try to adjust everything to suit me. If I cannot have what I like, I will try to like what I have.
Just for today, I'll be agreeable, cheerful, charitable, do my best, praise people for what they can do, and not criticize them for what they cannot do. And if I find fault, I'll forgive it and forget it, and I'll try not to improve nor regulate anybody except myself.
Just for today, I will have a plan. I may not follow it exactly, but I will have one. It will save me from worry, hurry, and indecision.
Just for today, I'll get people off my nerves and not get on theirs, or appreciate them for what they do and what they are.
Just for today, I will not show it if my feelings are hurt.
Just for today, I'll find a little time for quiet, to relax, realize what life is and can be, time to think about God and get a better perspective of myself.
Just for today, I will look at life with fresh eyes and discover the wonders of it. I will know that as I give to the world, so will the world give to me.
Much better than Boston. Thank you. Thank you. Page 24, as we rise for our call to worship, join together in the Baruch Hu.
Yalla lai lai lai, 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 yalla lai lai lai. Am I awake? Am I prepared? Are you listening to my prayer? Can you hear my voice? Can you understand? Am I awake? Am I prepared? Baruch Hu et Adonai HaMevorach. Baruch Adonai HaMevorach. Le'olam va'ed. Le'olam va'ed. Yalla lai lai lai. 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 Yalla lai lai lai.
You may be seated. On page 26, it's actually the first prayer that continues before the Shema. We're going to continue Ma'ariv Aravim. The cantor continues page 26.
Roll into dark, roll into light. Day day turns to night. Roll into dark, roll into light. Night becomes day, day turns to night. Yom v'layla, golel or mipnei choshech, golel or mipnei choshech, v'choshech mipnei or. Roll into dark, roll into light. Night becomes day, day turns to night. Roll into dark, roll into light. Night becomes day, day turns to night.
Thank you. That's a sample of how much more you can learn through the newer music that's being written. We're glad that you're going to 3 conferences this summer.
I know, I'm so excited.
To be introduced to so much more music that we have. We'll continue on page 30 at the top of the page with the Shema.
And Ziva is going to lead us in Shema.
Oh.
Shema Yisrael Adonai Eloheinu Adonai Echad Baruch Shem Kevod Malchuto Leolam Va'ed.
Ve'ahavta et Adonai Elohecha bechol levavcha uvchol nafshecha uvechol meodecha vehayu hadvarim ha'ele asher anochi mitzavecha hayom al levavecha v'shinatam levanecha v'dibarta bam b'shivtecha b'veitecha uv'lechtecha b'derech uv'shachtecha uv'kumecha ug'shartam le'ot al yadecha v'hayu l'totafot b'neinecha uchtavtam al mezuzot beitecha uv'yisharecha leman tizkeru v'asitem et kol mitzvotai v'tem kedoshim le'elohechem ani Adonai Elohechem asher hotzeiti etchem me'eretz Mitzrayim liot lachem le'elohim ani Adonai Elohechem.
Well, on this Shabbat evening, we seek peace and comfort and shield us from hatred and destruction that plagues so many corners of our world. Console those in need, and may we feel protected under the shadow of your wings as we join together. Page 34, Hashkivenu.
Hashkivenu Adonai Eloheinu l'shalom v'hamidenu malkeinu l'chaim. Hashkivenu Adonai Eloheinu l'shalom v'hamidenu malkeinu l'chaim. Ushmor tzeiteinu uvoeinu l'chaim u'shalom me'ata ve'ad olam. Hashkivenu Adonai Eloheinu l'shalom v'hamidenu malkeinu l'chaim. Hashkivenu Adonai Eloheinu l'shalom v'hamidenu malkeinu l'chaim.
Taken from the book of Exodus, in 6 days the Lord created the heavens and the earth. The seventh day he ceased from his work and rested. Page 36 will join together, Vishamru.
Vishamru b'nei Yisrael et ha-Shabbat la'asot et ha-Shabbat l'dorotam berit olam. Vishamru b'nei Yisrael et ha-Shabbat la'asot et ha-Shabbat l'dorotam berit olam. Beini ubein b'nei Yisrael oti leolam, oti leolam. Vishamru b'nei Yisrael et ha-Shabbat la'asot et ha-Shabbat l'dorotam berit olam. Ki sheshet yamim asa Adonai et hashamayim ve'et haaretz. Vishamru b'nei Yisrael et ha-Shabbat la'asot et ha-Shabbat l'dorotam berit olam. Uvayom hashvi Shabbat vayinafash, Shabbat vayinafash, Shabbat vayinafash. Vishamru b'nei Yisrael et ha-Shabbat la'asot et ha-Shabbat l'dorotam berit olam. Vishamru b'nei Yisrael et ha-Shabbat la'asot et ha-Shabbat l'dorotam berit olam.
Well, there are those in our community who are in need of healing, of body, mind, or spirit. If you have a person in your life in need of healing, please feel free to share their name aloud as we move about the sanctuary. We continue page 38, Mishaberach.
Mishaberach Avotenu Mekor habracha leimotenu. May the source of strength, who blessed the ones before us, help us find the courage to make our lives a blessing, and let us say Amen.
We offer blessings for full healing to Carolyn Ano, Emil Ano, Gail Balin, Sue Beiser, Linda Colin, Blanche Deutsch, Carol Ann Finn, Jane Friedman, Deborah Goldman, Lori Hellman, Mike Herman, Ken Imler, Rea Ivry, Donald Jaffe, Harriet Jaffe, Warren Janowitz, Mary Sue Katz, Skip Clowens, Herman Keek, Brian Kushner, Renee Myers, Stephen Reese, and Daniel Rosen, Chip Ruth, Roberta Scheller, Sam Schwartz, Bernie Shavitz, Bill Silver, Dina Stempler, and Maurice Strauss, Alan Tannenbaum, Rita Weinstein, Ron Weinstein, Brian Wilson, and Mickey Winokur.
Mishaberach imotenu mekor habracha leavotenu. Bless those in need of healing with refuah shlema, the renewal of body, the renewal of spirit, Spirit, and let us say, Amen.
We'll turn to page 40 in our prayer books and rise and continue with the Reader's Kaddish.
Yitkada ve'yitkada shemei Rabba.
Amen.
Be'alma divra kirute ve'amlich malchute.
B'chayechon uv'yomechon u'chayedecha Beit Yisrael Bagala uv'izman kariv. Amen. Yesh me'ra b'mivara le'alam lameho maya yitbarach.
Yitbarach v'yishtabach v'yitpa'ar v'yitroma v'yitnaseh v'yitadar v'yitale v'yitalal shemei dekudsha
Brechu.
le'elam min kol birchata v'shirata.
Tishbechata v'nechemata damiram b'yama.
Yimeru.
Amen. Eternal God, open my lips that my mouth may declare your glory. Page 42, we continue, and then silently through page 57.
Adonai sfatai tiftach ufi yagid tehilatecha. Adonai sfatai tiftach ufi yagid tehilatecha. Oh, eternal God, open my lips, that my mouth may declare your glory. Oh, eternal God, open my lips, that my mouth may declare your glory. Adonai sfatai tiftach ufi yagid tehilatecha. Adonai sfatai tiftach ufi yagid tehilatecha.
As we continue the top of page 54 with our prayer for peace, join with the cantor Shalom Rav.
Shalom Rav al Yisrael Amcha Tasim Leolam. Shalom Rav al Yisrael Amcha Tasim Leolam. Shalom, Shalom Rav Yisrael Amcha, Tasim Leolam. Shalom Rav Yisrael Amcha, Tasim Leolam. V'tov be'einecha levarech et Amcha Yisrael b'chol עת ובכל שעה בשלומך. Shalom Rav Yisrael Amcha, Tasim Leolam. 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 Tasim Leolam. Tasim Leolam.
Thank you. Well, there are 79,847 words in the Bible. Now, when you really study a biblical text, sometimes it's just one word that would consume our entire class. So for just a moment, I'm going to invite you to join what my class was and study that one word. I think most of you are familiar with the verse from the 23rd Psalm. It says, "Yea, though I walk through the valley of the shadow of death, lo era, I will fear no evil, for thou art with me. Ki ata imadi." Now we recite these words in times of sorrow, and they've also always been a source of comfort. So the psalmist gratefully, he states, Ki ata imadi, that God is with me. Now the more common Hebrew words of with me, if you were looking at the Hebrew text, it would be iti or imi. So why does the psalmist choose instead this unusual word that says, for God is with me, and writes the word imadi, which is a different translation? Now, when we headed into our second year of rabbinical school, we had to choose a major, and it was either Talmud, Hebrew literature, or Bible. And I thought, well, Bible has got to be the one that I would choose. It's more black and white. It's got to be easier. The stories are translated. It had to be, I was totally wrong. We would spend an entire class looking at all the places a word like imadi can be found in the Bible. So I brought this book with me. This doesn't even have a zip code. It's so old. It's called Mandelkern's Concordancia. This text that all of us had to purchase has every Hebrew word in the Bible. Then it lists every place that word is then found in the Bible. So my job as Sherlock Holmes was to find the verse, then see if it related to the same word in the 23rd Psalm. Well, the word imadi can be found in the Bible here and there, and it lists every single place and every tense that it would have been said. But the question for me was, is there a reason that they would choose a rare term like this? What is the Hebrew word imadi trying to convey? So to better understand the 23rd Psalm, I will fear no evil, for thou art with me. Some scholars say that this word is not simply the way of saying with me. The root of the word is aleph mem dalet, which means, actually the word means standing or supporting rather than with me. So the real sense of the word includes more than a reference of physical proximity to say, thou art with me. Rather, the translation should be, I will fear no evil, for you are standing by my side or supporting me. Well, if it's possible, and you can imagine a bunch of students sitting around, this was the aha moment of the Bible class. The real meaning behind the psalm assures that God is not just with us, but that God stands beside us in these difficult times. Perhaps think of it this way, that if a friend experiences a death of a loved one, what's the difference when speaking to them when you're saying, I'm sorry for your loss, I'm with you? Or by your words and especially by your actions, you're saying, I'm sorry for your loss, I'll always be there for you, standing beside you. So that special word, imadi, means so much more than just, I'll be with you. It means that one who is with me is there to help me and stand by me. So the God of Psalms is teaching us that to stand by another person in need, to stand by them is so much more than just being with them. So when we read those words and we say, yea, though I walk through the valley of the shadow of death, I will fear no evil, for you are with me and standing beside me, and you're also supporting me, imadi. And that's our prayer when we recite that psalm. And that was an exciting lesson when I was in rabbinical school. So you had to look for excitement. Well, today we're speaking to so many people that are out there virtually, and we'd like to invite up the president of our congregation for some announcements. Our condolences on the loss of your father. We're glad to have you back.
Shabbat Shalom. I truly am happy to be back in the Vail Valley. And if I may, Rabbi, can I have 2 minutes?
Of course.
Over the last month, a lot has gone on. I've crisscrossed the country, my wife and I, 3 times, from Colorado to Florida to California, back to Florida, then to Kentucky, then back to Colorado. And over the last month, I had some personal tragedies in my family. We had a lot of amazing things happen. But when I stepped foot at the Denver airport on Sunday afternoon, I knew I was home, and it's just amazing peacefulness of being back in the mountains. So for those of you around the world watching us, please come, share what we experience every day and live every day. The other thing that I had an opportunity as I met with the rabbi of our old temple in Fort Lauderdale, we were members many, many years, I had lunch with him. He had recently moved to Fort Lauderdale from Argentina. Conservative rabbi taking over a relatively large Reformed congregation. He wanted to have lunch. We sat down. And I thought I was going to ask him a lot of questions, but you couldn't believe how many questions he asked me about the Vail congregation, the B'nai Vail, and how many members could we have here in the mountains, and what are the things that we do? And as I spent an hour and a half explaining all the amazing things, he was blown away that we accomplished this here in this valley. And I said, it's this congregation, it's all of the members. You make this happen, and we should be just proud every day of what we've done here. And the other experience was my wife and I, whenever we travel anywhere in the world, we try to go see the Jewish quarters, Jewish sections, even if they're small or hidden, we try to find them. Well, of course, we landed in Kentucky several days after my dad had passed, and I said, let's go to services. I know we could watch the stream, but let's go to services. So I found out there was a synagogue, the temple in Louisville. I said, I've got to see what kind of Jewish population and community lives in Louisville. And I was struck by the amazing size of the facility, 650 members, but they had a very small presence for Shabbat service. I spoke to the cantor and a couple of the board members, and they said, since the pandemic, nobody comes back. They all watch our stream. And I said, that's interesting, because we get a regular group of people, many more every week here in Vail, and they were struck by that people are coming and they want to be here and they want to experience Shabbat at our congregation. Again, something I think we're unique. We make it happen, and the clergy and the staff does an amazing job putting this all together. So if you haven't been here in a long time, please come back. We miss you. We've got 3 pages of events starting in June, July, and August, and this is just a brief summary of all the things going on. Bluegrass Shabbat, June 23rd. We've got a new family activity. If you've noticed, we have a new member of our staff, Kendra Greenberg. Great partnership with the cantor. They're getting along great. Kendra's going to head up on a full-time basis our youth and family programming, and she's got a lot of amazing events planned in conjunction with the cantor and the rabbi and Janet and the whole team to try to grow our family programming. So we made a commitment we were going to do it, and we're going to do it. And you have a lot of things for your children and your grandchildren this summer. We've got Leadville Cemetery Cleanup, June 25th. Please put it on your calendar. It's an amazing event. It's an amazing experience, especially for kids. June 29th, the annual meeting will be here. We'll have hors d'oeuvres and some refreshments afterwards. And of course, we're going to get right into July. Patriotic Shabbat, mountaintops, creekside. So plan, look at the calendar. It's online. We've got a new website. We're gonna add to it, and we wish you all a sweet Shabbat and look forward to seeing you this summer. Thank you.
Thank you. Well, it's no exaggeration to say how much is going on. To highlight only a few other things, we had the Vail Academy. We did that last year, and it was full at Sonny and Phil's house, so we're moving it here. And it's 14 different topics with lunch, breakfast topics, lunch topics, and then you and Colleen, which is going to be incredible, putting on another little concert.
Yes.
So we're excited about that. And especially for tell me what you've done with your little group for your bluegrass.
Well, we have a pretty big little group coming for Bluegrass Shabbat. It's going to be a full-blown bluegrass band. We're super excited. It's, we have mandolin, banjo, upright bass, all kinds of things. It's going to be super, super fun. So we hope to have you all here for that.
And what's exciting is next year they'll say, well, we do that every year. So we have to get used to that, and that'll be wonderful. We also have, more details for the dedication of our Jerusalem wall down the road at the hospital. It's pretty incredible. They've shipped another 4 boxes of stone from the wall. It was in the quarry for King Solomon in Jerusalem, and everybody who has contributed or does contribute gets a piece of the stone from the quarry, which is pretty incredible. So it's going to be a wonderful morning on July 16th. Won't go over all the other dates. There's too much. Anything else? Okay. There's so many things on here that it's really wonderful, a great summer. And we look forward to having you come back.
Yes, and thank you to B'nai Vail for valuing continuing education. I'm excited to be going to these 3 conferences this year. I'll be attending Hava Nashira that I've been going to since I was 16, a Jewish music conference. I'll be attending New Cage, the North American Jewish Educators Conference, and I'm also attending the Women Cantors Network Conference this year as well. So thank you for that.
That'll bring so much back to us. And we say hello to the Seacrest out on the West Coast, and we've got the Grablowskis and everybody else on the East Coast. And Finkelsteins are watching? Then we say hello to them. Hello to the Finkelsteins in Florida. We have to make sure. And we do have our friends in Hawaii, including Jeannie, who's out in Kauai. She's watching our service. And it's just wonderful to have so many people that tune in with us. And what a great idea I had that we should stream like this.
You did have a great idea. Thank you for thinking of that yourself.
Okay, thank you.
Alone.
We were
Just you.
We're going to return to our prayer books. And we all rise and join together Aleinu, page 60.
Aleinu l'shabeach l'adon hakol, l'ateit gedula le'otzer bereshit, shalo asanu k'goyei ha'aratzot, ve'lo samanu k'mishpechot ha'adama, shalo sam chalkeinu kahem, ve'gor aleinu kechol hamonam, va'anachnu korim, u'mishtachavim u'modim, Lifnei Melech, Malchei Hamlachim, HaKadosh Baruch Hu, V'ne'emar, V'haya Adonai, L'melech al kol ha'aretz, Bayom hahu, Yeh Adonai echad, U'shemo echad.
At this moment, in memory of our loved ones who are no longer with us, we join hands in love and remembrance. A link has been broken in the chain that bound us together. Its strong bonds of home and love hold us one to another. In solemn testimony to that unbroken faith which links the generations one to another, we call to mind those whose yahrzeit we observe this month. Dottie Albert, Steve Aronow, Edith Barron, John Barron, Stephen Barron, Alan H. Blondie, Liebel Bobro, Tuvia Brightboard, Doris Bugach Fold, Harold Davis, Paul Eugene Guski, Bertha Feldman, Esther Galperin, Scott Michael Garland, Rose Gordon Golnick, Esther Gordon Guski, Philip Green, Ruth Geisman, Peggy Held, Ruth B. Katz, Leroy Kiefer, Bruce Clowens, Lois Lautenberg, Friend Lessing, David Levinson, Harold Lowenstein, Harold Arthur Lurie, Saul Malman, Jeanette Mincer, Lou Moskowitz, Ruth Myers, Arlene Patalano, Leah Perlman, Rothenberg, Dorothy Puckross, Edward Carton, Oscar Reiniger, Samuel Rothenberg, Doris Rudolph, Fanny Schechter, Joseph Schragen, Ina Schwab, Murray Scrudders, Joseph Shapiro, Morris Shapiro, Jerome Siegel, Leon Siegel, Henry Siegfried, Adel Silvers, Joseph Silvers, Bertram Stone, Susan Taxman, and Edith Weingast. Again, our sincerest condolences, Stephen, to you on the loss of your father this past week. Also to Colonel Maxwell Colin. We know that he's been watching virtually from San Diego, and he lost his wife this week. And our sincerest condolences to him and his family. We've known each other for about 30 years now. If anyone else is observing Yahrzeit this month. The Mourner's Kaddish can be found in our prayer books on page 64. And those who wish may join with us as we say, Yitzgadal v'yitkadash shemei rabbah, v'yalma divrach chirutei v'yamlich malchutei, v'chayechon v'yomechon v'chayei d'chol Beit Yisrael, v'gala v'zman karivim ramein, Yehesh me Rabba mivarach leolam olmeomaya. Yitbarach v'yishtabach v'yitpa'ar v'yitramam v'yitnaseh. Yitadar v'yitalev v'yitalal shemei dekudesha brichu. Le'elam min kol birchata v'shirata tushbechata v'nechemata damiran bi'alma v'imramein. Yehesh shlama Rabba min shemaya. V'chayim aleinu v'yal kol Yisrael v'imramein. Oseh shalom v'imromav, huya aseh shalom. Aleinu v'yal kol Yisrael v'imramein. You may be seated. Again, welcome to all of you and everyone who has been watching. As we recited the prayer for the Kaddish, not everyone even knows that it's Aramaic. But by us keeping the tradition of reciting in Hebrew, reciting in Aramaic, sometimes Ladino, I'm putting together a sermon as to why. Because in the late 1800s, the Reform movement in Germany said, no, the whole service will just be in German. And of course, the Catholic Church, now the entire service, instead of Latin, is all in English. So if you want to sing the Manashtana in English for me.
That's our new tradition.
I'm not putting you on the spot?
No.
Okay. That's part of it. Could you imagine if we did, though?
That would be interesting. What's different on this night from all other, from
It doesn't
all
work.
the other nights?
I know. No, we're not going to do that. We're not going. But we will do it on Olam, page 66, and we'll join together.
Adon Olam Asher Malach B'terem Kol Yitzir Nivra Leit Nasa B'chefso Kol Azay Melech Shemo Nikra Adon Olam Be'acharei Kichlot HaKol Levado Yimloch Nora Adon Olam Behu Haya Behu Hoveh Vehu Yevetifara Adon Olam Vehu Echad Ve'ein Sheni Lehamshilo Lehachmira Adon Olam Bli Reshit Bli Tachlit Ve'lo Ve'amitra Adon Olam Adon Olam Asher Malach B'terem Kol Yitzir Nivra Leit Nasa B'chefso Kol Azay Melech Shemo Nikra Adon Olam Behu Eli V'chai Goali וצורכב לי בעת צרה אדון עולם, והוא ניסי ומנוס לי, ונקותי ביום אקרא אדון עולם, בידו אפקיד רוחי, ועת תישן ואירא אדון עולם, ואם רוחי גוויעתי, אדוני לי ולא ירא אדון עולם, אשר מלך בטרם כל יציר נברא עת נשא בהפסקו, אזי מלך שמו נקרא אדון עולם.
And we'll rise for a closing blessing. Adonai oz le'amo yitain, Adonai avarech et amo v'shalom. May the Lord grant strength to his people. Bless all peoples with peace.
Baruch atah Adonai Eloheinu melech haolam, borei puri hagafen l'chaim. Baruch haolam.
Asher kiddushanu
Okay,
b'mitzvotav v'ratzavanu, v'shabbat kodsho v'ahava uvratzon hinchilanu, zikaron lema'aseh v'reshit, ki hu yom techila lemikrai kodesh, zecher l'tziat Mitzrayim, kivanu v'acharta, V'yatanu kidashta mikol ha'amim, v'shabbat kodshecha v'ahava uvratzon hinchaltanu. Baruch atah Adonai mekadesh haShabbat. Amen. And from your bar mitzvah, you remember all that.
Baruch atah Adonai Eloheinu melech haolam, hamotzi lechem min haaretz b'tei avon.
Shabbat shalom.
Bim bam, bim 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 bam, bim 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 bam, bim bam, bim 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 bam, bim 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 bam. Shabbat shalom, Shabbat shalom, Shabbat 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 shalom, Shabbat shalom, Shabbat shalom. Shabbat, 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 Shalom.
There's 10 Jewish adults, yep, because we with Aaron and Kenny, doing sound, and we had us, we had Coleman, yeah, but we did it. We had it for 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. Yeah, you're right. Come on, guys, somehow. This one I'm gonna bring some.
I thought I saw walking down the street yesterday. I was going into.
This is the other one.
Oh, I thought I saw him walking down the street like a day or two ago. When I was going a couple days ago, I was going to the post office to Copyco, and I saw them walking. I thought it had to be there.
Oh, yeah, it was. They were here.
There we go.
They were here. They limited for 2 days. Oh, no, we could not. Oh, save myself.
Okay, I knew I saw them.
Door handles and the carpet.
Where we just recently had the advisors that scene and remember that, you know? Yeah.
Somebody I
Not
know
the
was
word.
at the houses.
That's definitely something we have to Derby, right?
At the Derby.
For a lot of people, yeah.
Having that many people, I can't imagine. 100,000. That's a lot of people. Did you have a good jewel?
I did. The spot, we had some kind of spire, which was better.
We gotta take this thing down, it's heavy, isn't it?
Not too bad. Let me get the thing. I'll show you. It doesn't have to go as far now.
No, we had this thing called a spire, it was